Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Welcome into the show, everybody. Good to see everybody in here. Ryman Lemon, Benji already coming in here talking mess. Stinkus Cat, what's my guys? Welcome in. Make sure that you check in as you get here. Hit that like button. Yeah, I don't know where everybody's at this morning. That's kind of weird. I'm used to seeing more people here at this time of day. On a Monday, after Sooner Magic reared its head on Saturday. Weird things. What's up? Hope everybody's good this morning. Everybody get in here. Let us know that you're here. There she is. Kimberly K. Welcome into the show. Oh, it's 8 weeks. 8 weeks now. It was a good win. You had to go get it done. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where you just had to go get it. So good times. We are going to go ahead and welcome in to talk about this Sooner Magic just a little bit. Our Monday guest, Mike Boganowski Sr., Big Mike, as we call him. What's up there, big dog? Throw him down. Welcome in, man. How you doing?
Double.
Throw him down.
Oh, man, I'm great, man.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Oni Kuno.
Yeah.
Armu said, welcome into the show. Eric Reheard, Kimberly K. Benji, Stinkus Cat. And who else we got in here so far? Ryman Lemon has been in here. I don't see him just yet right now, but we'll see. All right. What's up, man? Hey, what a good weekend, huh? That's a good way to
Only thing that happened is my youngest one, they got their butts whooped this weekend. But other than that, Oklahoma won, the Bucks won. I can't complain.
Listen, yeah, hey, Baker was cooking. Sterling Shepard, he hit him on a big play, a couple big plays. Actually, that was a hell of a day for Sooners everywhere.
Yeah.
Good to see Bake,
Sure.
getting it done, man, And then, of course, what a performance by Michael Hawkins in his first ever start. True freshman goes into tough conditions and has 2 monster plays. I mean, you had a lot of pitching from a lot of folks, but it feels like he just endeared himself a little bit more to the team. It's certainly the Sooner Nation. What did you think about that?
Yeah, man, he looks mature out there, and he saw a lot of communication, from the young quarterback, a lot of communication, some good decision making, not putting the ball in harm's way, no turnovers, and shit, man, looked like he got shot out of a cannon on that first drive, man. To look like the fastest player in college football. But let me tell you, man, it's we take care of the ball like that, we'll be in a lot of games.
Yeah. Stinkus Cat says our Hawk flew at the game also. Of course, talking about the War Eagle that they put out there before the game. Listen, I was saying the same thing. As much as, the superlative stuff, you expected it. Well, I guess some people haven't expected it. You had a lot of people that don't even know. Even guys that's supposed to know college football, like Ari Wasserman, saying that he doesn't have. Imagine that an On3 guy doesn't know shit about college football. Saying that he doesn't have.
Don't get me started on.
Yeah, I know you love him. There, Big Mike. Yeah. No, but I think more. To me, the more impressive thing about Hawkins is that we haven't seen him make a mistake as far as, maybe he's missed a read here or there or whatever, missed a guy that he maybe could have hit. I could see that. But you haven't seen him put the ball in harm's way. You haven't seen him anything that would be catastrophic or even close to it. He takes his time. He doesn't feel like he has to ever get It doesn't seem like he ever feels like he has urgency to score until it's the end of the game. And that was just he worked through some things. You could tell that was going on. And I just think there was a number of times, we were talking about it on K Christian's show the other night, that when they got down a couple of times, you probably could have seen him going out there and trying to get it all back at one time, and maybe making a throw into a too tight of a window or something like that, or maybe just a throw you shouldn't make. You're not seeing him do it. I'd rather see him take an intentional grounding, throw it out of bounds, even if you're in the grasp or something like that, than I would to see him throw a pick or something in bad territory. You just haven't seen him do it. And then whenever you add in, 60-yard runs and dimes like the one that he threw there at the end of the game to JJ Hester, what a great performance. I think it's something else, man, to watch.
Yeah, even on the 2-point conversion when he was scrambling and he did a little Patrick Mahomes about to fall down and sling it, and I was like, that. And man, if Bauer Sharp had a little bit more, he looked like he wasn't paying attention, or he thought the play was over, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, damn, the ball's right there." That might have been an amazing play, but I mean, even though that one late throw, it should have been completed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should have been completed.
Yeah.
So yeah, he looks good, man. Like the moment don't look too big for him.
No.
He's got poise, and like I said, he's communicating. And he threw a couple ropes, man. That rope to Bauer Sharp that he went for 50 on, or whatever that was. Man, all Jake Roberts has got to do is turn around and act like he's trying to catch the pass or run a route, and there's no problem. But yeah, man, and that ball to JJ Hester, man, you couldn't have ran down there and put it in a better spot. You know what I mean? That was just
that was a drop in the bucket, right?
It's only going to get better.
He's shown some real arm talent, on the run. It doesn't matter if he's on the run or he's sitting in the pocket. Like you said, that ball that he threw to Bauer, that, good grief. It was a frozen rope, no doubt about it. And it seems effortless too. It's flicking out of his wrist. He can definitely rip it. It's just something else, man. Something else. Yeah, Sawchuk played a little bit. He actually had that one run that they called back that was really good. Welcome to the show.
Run, I got called back.
Yeah, man, it was a good run. It was a good run. And it was sucked that it got called back, but it did. Stephen G, welcome into the show. Sooner Brandon, good to see you all in here. He didn't register a carry, which I wonder why he didn't. Yeah, well, he had one that got called back, but it was just I don't know, man. It's really Javonte was running the ball really well. It's another guy that on the offensive side, you're starting to see some things out of him that you really needed to. I think it was very important for JJ Hester to step up the other night, though. Very important, because to have that big body guy that can get out there, and you just, what you needed to do was see him kind of get a little bit of confidence in himself. Kind of what we saw from Jaden Gibson last year, where early on in the year, he just wasn't catching anything. You're wondering if he was ever going to get it. And then once he did, he turned into an alpha dog. 3 catches, over 80 yards for him. Obviously, the big one as well. Good morning, Miss Janet. Good to see you in here. Good win for Alabama this weekend as well. We'll get into talking a little bit about that as well. Stephen G says, Hawk just needs to quit helicoptering in the end zone. You know what, Stephen G? He would have taken a worse hit had he not jumped up trying to go over the top of those 2 guys in that corner there on the 2-point conversion. You cannot tell these guys not to play like they play. I just don't think you can do it.
His teammates love it. He's going all out for him.
He is. Thorne is such a bad quarterback, but guess who started a week ago was worse, man. Freeze. He's not even going to make it.
Hey, you can say Thorne is a bad quarterback, but
shit, he had a hell of a game until
that was making throw.
He did.
He did. Hey, and you know what? I blame that on Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze. Yeah. So the 2 plays before Hugh Freeze was just cussing him up and down on the sideline, and he got in his head on those 2 plays before. And I think Gabe and Teddy might have talked about it on their thing too. But I was sitting there watching him. I'm like, dude, why is he cussing him like that? Okay, he made a bad read. Like, it happens. And then
It's bad. It's such a
down.
bad situation right now at Auburn, anyways. Just a bad situation. I mean, I thought Peyton Thorne came in, and to be honest with you, and with Cam Coleman, that dude is a freaking dog. Cam Coleman, what a stud that kid is, right?
I'm gonna tell you a real story. This is no bullshit here. When we lived in Columbus, Georgia, and we played for the Eastway Cherokees, Cam Coleman played for the Phoenix City Titans. So Mike and Cam Coleman used to play against each other in kindergarten and first grade tackle football in Columbus, Georgia. Crazy.
Right? Yeah, man. Well, Cam's a stud, and we know Mike is. So, but wow, what a good, and I mean, he looks, I mean, this is a group of freshman receivers that are out there that are just big time players, right? Yeah. You got Jeremiah Smith.
I thought he was going to hawk Kip Lewis on that pick six.
He tried to, man. He tried to, and Kip was running hard.
Dude, he come out the screen. I was like, what? Yeah.
Where did that guy come from, dude? It was like he was shot out of a damn cannon coming the other way. It was pretty crazy, man. That is awesome. Sooner Fan 71, welcome into the show as well. Miss Janet, who else we got? Matt, look, I think that the offense is definitely improving. And Auburn, honestly, they played a lot better. I think that if it wasn't for turnovers, they would be in a better position. They haven't been very good this year as far as their record is concerned. They've lost some. They definitely have a problem with. They're definitely not very. I guess the word you're looking for is probably. I don't know. They make a lot of mistakes at times, but if you think about it, they've been putting up yards on everybody. So we'll kind of see exactly what it looks like later on. But I think that no matter what, and Gabe and Teddy were kind of talking about it on their show yesterday, was that look, you've got a situation where the defense is a little worn out right now. They had to go out there and really carry the load against Tennessee because you didn't get anything until the very end of the game out of the offense. So, and then on the road, it's a lot to it. But, for Kip Lewis, I got to tell you, man, to me, that's an iconic moment for what he did to get out there, hit that and get that pick six. Then you got, listen, our Mason Thomas doing it again, 2 monstrous sacks. That guy is playing himself right into an NFL draft position, isn't he?
Hey, man, he about to get paid.
Yeah.
Paid.
Listen, I think that he was closer to getting hurt on that other run in the fourth quarter where he did get cracked on that one. He saw his mouthpiece come flying out on it. Even it wasn't good. But
man,
I tell you,
Mike Hawk ain't little. Like don't get it twisted. Mike Hawk ain't little, man. He about 200 pounds, bro. He's thick. If you ain't seen Mike Hawk is big and he's thick. He ain't some 175 pound, 80 pound freshman. Nah, Mike big.
Yeah, he may not look like it standing next to an offensive lineman, but he's a big boy. He's still a big boy, and and I get it that you're worried about him nobody wants to see him get hurt, but I would tell you that you cannot change the way these guys play, and man, I don't know, man. He seems like he ain't ready to break anytime real soon. But like I said, the helicopter move, I think that one kept him from getting hit harder. He was about to have to run right into him otherwise, so he tried to go over the top, and he didn't land crazy or anything on that way, so it was good. Went over Texas in 2 weeks.
He got hit harder earlier in the game.
Yeah, he did. A couple of times. He got hit a couple of times where he kind of had to do it. There's Chicken. Good morning there, Chicken. Read that the read he missed happened multiple times. I get why Freeze jumped on his ass. Can't fault Freeze on that one. Though, the one thing I'll say about
mental, bro. It's mental with these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's mental with these cats, man. He was having a good game.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game. He was playing with fire. He was, he was playing, and the way that he's been playing the carousel, I don't know how you have confidence out of any of them, and then you just erase it in one fell swoop. And before that, he was playing pretty well. He missed the read. I get it, but come on, man. That was It is what it is. Bottom line is these things happen sometimes, and it happens at the right time. It
Thank you.
always seems. Huh? Yeah, thank you. No shit. Appreciate you, Hugh.
Thanks, Hugh.
Yeah, appreciate you, Hugh. Go right ahead. Our Moosehead, what's up there? Greg Ray used to live in Columbus, Georgia. Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Janet. I appreciate that. Why are they not using the screen more? Hey, it worked, didn't it, Sooner Brandon? That screen game looked really good, especially with the tight ends. I thought that was something that look, I would tell you that I hope that they are installing more of the regular air raid over this 2-week period. I don't think it's too much to ask. The route combinations aren't going to be a lot different as far as the receivers are concerned. I don't think that the running backs will have an issue with it either, because to be honest with you, they haven't ran it worth the shit anyway. At the very least, stop running it right at the middle of the defense. Let's try to get it off the edges a little bit. But I think that you can also help your running game by doing more of what we saw at the end. Throw the deep ball. You got to get those guys out of the box. You just got to do it. And it felt like to me they were a little conservative there for a while. You know, didn't you kind of feel that way?
Yeah. Going back to the screen games, man, there's so many different ways you can get, those screens, receivers, tight ends, running backs, different variations. Like I've been calling for a minute, man. Like it's gotta be a staple, because it also helps your O line out. It helps keep those pass rushers, slows them down a little bit. So I mean, it's gotta happen. Something's gotta happen. And we say this week to week, but hopefully they're just keeping something in the playbook for Texas. Yeah, it's got. I mean, we got to run the ball better, and then the screen games will help too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that and Coach Ricks was talking about that on the show the other night, and yeah, you're right, Sooner Brandon. It was there all night. So he was talking about, he goes, were you surprised to see it? And I was like, I don't know about surprised so much, but I was happy to see it for sure, because it'll get those guys on their heels a little bit to where they know they can get burned by it, right? And you got a couple of really big chunk plays out of it. Go ahead.
And my big thing is like, we're down our top 5 receivers, whatever, 6, whatever. And we're having trouble getting receivers getting open. And I'm always like, so when you're having trouble getting people open, put them out there in bunches, put them out, put those receiver in bunches and have them do all kinds of stuff and scheme them open. And we saw some of that on Saturday. So I was glad to see that.
Me too, man. Me too. Yeah, welcome into the show, Dez, another one of our Texas guys in here. He said, boy, the Lord was with y'all Saturday. Or excuse me, Hugh Freeze, he says. Welcome into the show.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
We'll kick y'all's ass in 2 weeks. It's horns down all day, every day around here. Maybe there's a reason none of the insiders will address the rumors, and it's something more. Listen, I think that it is something that Nick needs to address himself. I don't know that that's what's going on. He's hurt. I would think that that's kind of tough for me to believe that that's the case. If it is, it is. But I don't think. But it could be something to do with the way that. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I hadn't heard the rumor until the other night. I really don't care to hear about it. It's one of those things that I think Stephen G's right. If Nick is going to go somewhere, that's something that he needs to talk about, or nobody else really does. Because for right now, I mean, I guess you could do all that. And I think a lot of it is just, it could be rumored just based on the fact that you're seeing so much of this crazy shit going on around the country because of the NCAA and their lack of control over anything and their lack of foresight in any of this NIL shit to begin with. I know that I don't think that Nick's having an NIL issue by any stretch of the imagination. It's a guy that you were expecting to have big contributions this year. I don't expect him to be back this season, but I would think he would be back at some point. That's just my thought. And if he doesn't, man, it is what it is. But love the guy. He's still going to be a Sooner no matter what. He's been here. He had a big play for us a year ago. He played big for us a year ago at Oklahoma. You got to understand that this is more of a business these days. It's not just a school thing at this point. Sometimes it is the way it is, and if he doesn't feel good about the direction of the offense, could you blame him? So it's kind of how it is. Yeah. Yep. And that's what, we just nothing for us to really say. Nothing for us to really say. I think he's going to be all right, though, man. We'll see how it goes. He says, Armu says, at being love you, man. I won't rub it in when Oklahoma wins. Oh, I will. We're going to rub it in. We're going to rub it in. It's a perfect time to start getting to where you're feeling good, though. And I think a win like this, I've just been thinking about it over and over, is that these are the kind of wins that kind of galvanize you and move you forward. When you know that you're playing for each other, and even in the tough times, you can get a win like that. I think it was big for Brent Venables, to be quite honest with you folks. I think it was big.
You can see it. You can see him on the sideline.
Yeah.
You can see the way he's reacting to some things on the sideline, like he wanted it and he needed it. Yeah, I think when they upheld that Devin Hester challenge, when the call stand, you seen him, he gave that fist pump like we needed that.
Yeah, we did. And I don't know how he kept his knee from hitting the ground. It almost looks like it did, but it was like they shaved that grass real good, didn't they?
So if you go watch Sights and Sounds from the Auburn Sooner Scoop, Eddie Radosevich, he's sitting in the end zone filming stuff. And if you're good enough with your DVR or the pause button, he's got that play. And if you pause it just right, to me, that's about the most conclusive evidence I've seen that his knee didn't touch.
Yeah. No, you can see it. You can definitely see it, but it was and you can see that there was a little air, but it was
if anything, it grazed that finely manicured turf.
Yeah, it was. But here's the thing. And you saw on Friday night, you saw that ridiculous. What was happening there in that Miami game. I didn't know what I just saw. But honestly, as crazy as the inning was, because the Hail Mary was what it was, I think they guessed on the play. You call it on the field, which was a stupid move on the ACC's part to even do that. But then I think they had to make up for their own bad call by making the right call, even though you couldn't get a conclusive evidence out of that deal. I'm telling you, man, that guy, what's his name from Virginia Tech, was trying to out Mario Cristobal. And then Mario says, hold my beer. And then gets bailed out on that shit anyways. But the way that that clock management at the end of that game in the Virginia, what the hell was he doing? You don't have a passing quarterback as it is, and you're just wasting damn time all the way down the field. And you started the damn drive with 3 timeouts. Unbelievable.
I don't get it. Hey man, I've always said this. Like, pay me a quarter of what you're paying some of these coaches to make these type of decisions and manage the clock, and I'll do a better job for a quarter of what these jokers are making. This is unbelievable. Week in, week out. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's something. It's always going something with that. Oh, Texas fans, looky here. Oh, guess what? I get to just start putting people in timeout just because it's fun anyway. I don't care that you're saying it. I'm just going to do it anyway. Let's see. Whether or not DG left on his own, Venables is going to be judged on how Hawkins plays. If he ends up sucking, they're going to blame him for everything. He doesn't suck. That's pretty clear. I think that you Texas fans are already coping with the fact that there's another one. He should remind you a little bit of Caleb Williams from a few years ago, because it's kind of how he plays. Better arm, faster. You're fucked. You're fucked.
He's fast now.
He's fast, bro. They did save their but who cares about the saving stuff? Yeah, they're definitely worried. They are worried. And here's the thing. It was funny because I saw on Twitter yesterday that dumbass Kyle was talking about going into after they beat Georgia at home, then they'll be back to number 1 anyway. And I thought, you're talking about the game in 3 weeks instead of the game in 2 weeks. I love it. I love it. Because they know they're going to get beat. You guys none of you guys are feeling good about it. Would have scored 28 against Auburn in 3 quarters. Caleb Williams never had to go up against it with a bunch of freaking brand new receivers that he didn't know. Or an offensive line that was in that kind of shape either. Marvin Mims, you had Mario Williams. You had a stable full of healthy receivers, and they were down 28 to 7 in that game, and he came back on you. So it is what it is. You can say whatever you want, but you guys are worried. You're worried. You guys don't have the defense that some of these other teams have had, and you hadn't even been tested. You guys are going to get smoked. You are. Feel good about us against Texas. I do too.
Damn Bama boy.
Bama's scary. Bama's very scary. Not scared of Texas whatsoever. Alabama, a little bit. Yeah, they look really good. And I mean, Georgia finally found something towards the end of that game.
Caleb DeBoer, man.
Huh?
I was just saying that damn Caleb DeBoer. He's that offense, man. I didn't think he was gonna have Milroe looking like that. I didn't know how pure of a passer Milroe was, but shit, Milroe looks good, man. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, throws a good enough ball. That damn freshman receiver,
80% completion
That's
percentage.
not even fair. Like that body control.
Yeah. Yep. Y'all gonna keep on talking, but you're gonna get some timeouts in here. You're gonna get, let's see, Benji by Bama does look good. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna restart my computer here. I feel like I'm on a delay.
You are on a delay. I think you are delayed a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart my joint here. Let's see what's going on here. I'll be back.
Okay, cool. Oh, look here, another one. We're just gonna do this for a few minutes just because I like it. It's just funny. I don't care if they talk, really, but easy. CW would have beat Tennessee, not with the guys that he had in there. He wouldn't have, and without a line. You've got to think about other things other than just how it is. He's legit. Better skill set to deal with the. And it's not a knock on. Listen, if we're going to bring up that, talking about Jackson Arnold, he stayed engaged the other day. He was on the side of his teammates. That was the anti-Spencer Rattler move the other day by J.A. It made me feel really good about where this team is at culture-wise, because even going through everything, they're still dealing with that pretty well. Hey, Zach Schmidt he definitely got my respect the other day too, because after what was, and you know what, I kind of felt like that was probably going to be the case because he was a good kicker the year before that. I think it was all about the way that DG had the ball, the way that he had the footballs, because of the way they wanted them aired or not aired or whatever. I remember seeing Texans fans crying after the 34-30, just not getting my hopes up with Hawk one game. We'll see how you know what? Here's the one thing. I get what you're talking about, but I would just say this. If you haven't seen him in a pressure situation where he's not done the right thing. It's not about what he's done stat-wise or anything else. They're finding something on the offensive side of the ball, and it has a lot to do with the fact that the play calling hadn't been great. Here's a little quicker now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think it sounds better.
That sounded like it sounded like you were right after me there. Engaged on the sideline. Hey, coach. There you go. That's the way to come in here, coach. Horns down. Schmidt did, he redeemed himself quite a bit. And I'm telling you guys, I think a lot of that had to do with the way that Dylan Gabriel liked the balls inflated to that certain way. And they talked about it on that show where Nick and what's his name, Caden Helms were talking about that. So I think that had something to do with it. He piped those two. Good for him, man. Good for him. And again, these are the kind of things that when stuff like this happens and you've had as many injuries as this team's had, we're talking about the top 5 receivers. And really, everybody that is playing right now at the receiver position and the tight end, they're all brand new to this. None of them have started. I guess you could say, what's his name? That was the tight end from Baylor. He's played before.
Yeah, Jake
Roberts. The rest of them really haven't. Bauer Sharp has a little bit, but not here. He played at ULM or wherever, or Northwest Louisiana, wherever he was. But the thing is that all the things that have gone wrong, you've had injuries on both sides of the ball. Really, the depth there is impressive, and really to still be 4-1 with all of that tells you something about this football team. I don't care, and don't come in here and start saying shit about Auburn being crappy. Whenever all we ever hear from SEC people is every week it's hard. Every week it's hard. It's always it's a gauntlet that you got to run through. I don't want to hear that shit.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
It can't be both.
I said the same thing, bro. That's exactly. I was telling my middle one that. I was like, now all of a sudden they're going to talk about Auburn's trash. Auburn's trash. Yeah, no, we ain't trying to hear it. Ain't trying to hear it.
I'm not either. And the truth is that it's like I said it on Friday before we ever got to the game was, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't think Auburn can play well. And everybody talks about how tough a place that is to go play at. It was loud. It was real loud because especially when they were playing as well. And I would tell you that, look at this. Imagine the heat Kirby's getting now losing to DeBoer. Look, they lose football games. Oklahoma lost to a good football team in Tennessee. And, Michael didn't come in until they were already behind. They'd already had a bunch of turnovers. They weren't moving the football. The bottom line is that they have gone through some stuff and they're going through some stuff still and finding ways to win. When you can do it not pretty, it tells you a lot about the football team that you have. I still feel really good about what Oklahoma is. I really do. I think that a lot of people are going to talk a lot of bullshit, but like this clown, boom, timeout for you too. Yeah, Auburn, maybe. They might end up being good. I think they got to, Peyton Thorne played well the other day. They're definitely dangerous. Cam Coleman is one of the best players in the country. There's no two ways around it.
Yeah. Hey, Chavis already got a raise. He just got one in the offseason.
There was a lot of people that were trying to fire Chavis. A lot of Oklahoma fans were trying to fire him last season.
Listen, a lot of Oklahoma fans.
Oh, I lost you. Frozen. A lot of Oklahoma fans are crazy. That's what he was going to say. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, you froze up there. You said a lot of Oklahoma fans. I lost you right then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of Oklahoma fans trying to fire Chavis, but a lot of big-time programs are trying to hire him. I don't know what that means, but it is what it is.
Looky there, Benji in here kissing ass now. You don't want to get kicked again. That cheer dude yelling at the game reminded me of Ice Ice Baby. One of the male cheerleaders from Auburn. Is that what you're talking about? That was a good take there, Benji. It was a good one. I can't time out Ben of that. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We should definitely trust him. We should definitely trust him. And look, man, it doesn't all come together. It took Sark 10 years to win 10 games. Which is what, it's what makes me laugh that people are talking shit all the time whenever they've got Sark.
Hey, they just keep doubting. I love the fact
let
that
them sleep.
Keep doubting all the books, all that stuff. Keep doubting them because I just keep cashing. I just keep winning every weekend. Just keep it up. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, especially y'all at DraftKings. Can I get a sponsorship, man? Y'all make it easy for him.
Right? Just keep on placing those bets. Hey, man, just stay on that money line and your money.
God,
right?
It's so easy. So easy.
Well, they flipped it. I mean, they flipped that. It changed by 3. I guess they figured after the injury report came out, it just freaked everybody out at the books. So that's the whole thing. Is honestly, we're expecting all these guys to come in and play like seasoned veterans, and that's not what they are. But they kind of are coming in and handling business like they need to. And when you have a quarterback like this, I'm telling you guys, there's a reason why, the idea that Wasserman was saying that about him not being able to throw was hilarious. I didn't even say anything to the dude. I was just like, how do you come up with that?
You don't get to Oklahoma not being able to throw.
There ain't no damn. This is not 30, 40 years ago, where you wouldn't, that they're running the wishbone. You wouldn't even recruit a kid that can't throw the football. It would never happen. It would never happen here. Wild. Yeah. And on top of that, but this is the kind of quarterback that can really hurt somebody. We're talking about Jalen Milroe. What a freaking performance by him the other night. Unbelievable player. I think he's the best player in the country right now as far as quarterbacks are concerned. He's showing me that he's the best guy right now. But I look at Michael Hawkins and I think, okay, yeah, this is what we got a year, and maybe even before that. He's maturing in front of our eyes, maybe even quicker than what we saw Milroe, because Milroe struggled at times last year. But now that he's got Kalen DeBoer there, you expected this to come. This is why I kept saying it ain't going to be me that doubts how good Alabama is or starts predicting their downfall. Not me, because I knew.
Oh, I've been around Coach DeBoer. I think if he would have kept the OC instead of him going where to go to Seattle, I think if he'd have kept what was his name, Grubb. Ryan Grubb.
Ryan Grubb. Yep.
Let me tell you. Yep, and let me tell you something, man. That Milroe, like, you better bring your feet when you tackle that big son of a bitch. Like, that dude is too big and too fast, and it needs to be more than one. We can't be out here trying to bring that dude. Like, we need a gang tackle him. Like, that dude, there's some people that are just cheat codes, and he's one of them, dude. Like, it is not even close, like how stupid freaky that dude is. It's not even fair. Yeah. Not even fair.
Yeah, Milroe's incredible. You're not wrong, Kimberly K. I think he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah,
it's the same stuff we talked about. It's the same stuff we talked about last podcast with, struggles, perseverance, not quitting. Like, look at Milroe. He got benched last year. He got benched at the beginning of the year because, Coach Saban didn't think he was it. Comes back, works on it, has, end up making the playoffs. Off-season of work and dedication. Look at the kid. The kid looks like a Heisman. If you don't win the Heisman, I don't know who is. Like, that dude, if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, we'll not even just give it to him right now. Like, don't even have just give it to him.
Well, I think that was the big step towards it the other night for sure, right? But I also, one thing you got to remember, though, is that Travis Hunter's been catching touchdowns and getting interceptions every week, too. So, I mean, to me, before I'm going to put the brakes on the best player in the country, I think it's Travis.
I don't think he can, because I don't think that's going to hold up, man. I
don't know that it will. I don't know that it will.
Yeah, he's like playing both ways like that. Like, it's a lot, man. I hope and pray for him and keep doing it. He's a freak too, but man, that's a lot.
I think it is a lot. I think it's a lot to ask of him to play both ways that many snaps. And we've been saying that, Coach and I have been saying that on here for, since last year, that and it didn't work out last year for him. They got him hurt then, and he stayed hurt for most of the year. He's been incredible, though. Definitely
he's a hell of an athlete.
He is. And for them to go down and beat UCF, that surprised me. I didn't think that was going to happen, especially after what we saw them in the Nebraska game. I'm not ready to say they're going to really compete for the Big 12. I think that the Big 12 right now is starting to turn into exactly what we were saying it was going to, which is it's going to be a dogfight all the way down to the end. You're going to have teams that are going to beat each other. And, when you've got BYU starting out 5-0 without a quarterback, we know Bomber that always comes on my show. He doesn't, and he's a big BYU fan. He's went to the school, supporter, everything else. And he's like, he didn't even like the quarterback or their chances. And that was a couple of weeks ago he was talking like that. So to me, it tells you a lot. They were picked to finish last too, by the way. So yeah, man, I think that the Big 12 is what we think it was, and it's just going to be a lot of parity. I know one thing. Who was right about Okie Light? This guy right here.
Dude, what it goes back to coaching. Like, this dude, Ollie Gordon, had like 9 carries for 75, 80 yards in the first quarter. You know what I mean? And they went away from him. They went back late, but the game was over. Like, what? I just don't understand it. And you're going to put the hands in that 17th year senior, Bowman. Look, come on, man. That dude,
I don't understand that at
what
all.
are you doing? What are you doing?
It's just like mediocre Mike, though. It's just what he does. It's just what he does. And he's trash. Alan Bowman he's been trash. He was trash when he was at Tech. He was trash when he left Tech. He was trash last year. If it wasn't for Ollie Gordon going nuts last year, there was no way that they were going to have this season last year. I knew this was coming. Mike.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No, you're not.
I turned it off, man. I could not watch it no more. I got so mad. I was like, this is ridiculous. And I don't even like none of the teams. I was like, this is dumb. Like, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Well, I root for K-State. I'm not going to say I don't like them, but, I know some kids. There's a couple of Junction City kids. But yeah, man, like I was
stuff, all that. Yeah.
Hey, K-State kept the ball. Look at DJ Giddens. Torched them fools.
I'm usually right about Okie Light there sooner in Texas. I usually am. And I mean, I get it right. They caught a lucky break last year. We all know what happened in the damn Bedlam game. And we know what Brett Yormark had been trying to do, and the Texas fans will agree with this because they were catching the same hell for 2 years also. Oklahoma, literally the year before, OU and Texas, between them, had 3 total holding calls against an opponent in the Big 12. 3 for the season. 1 to Oklahoma, 2 against an opponent in Texas. So we kind of know. And I mean, hell, it doesn't take much to see. You can go look at the video. Stoops got tackled in the fucking end zone. Now, should it have been that close? Probably not. There was some bad play calling and stuff like that was going on. But
should we get that ball in the 2?
You should have had that ball in the 2. That's it. There's no 2 ways around it. No 2 ways around it.
Easy call.
Yeah, Bowman only has so much ginger magic. It wasn't any of that even. It was just, oh, man. Well, and the thing about Ollie, I don't know where he's been, but they kind of went away from him after the first half, right?
So I got nothing, man. I don't know. I don't. It's so easy. It blows my mind how easy it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. What's up there, Bishop Frank? Good to see you. And yes, let's see. Kimberly K said Ryan Williams, the kid's an absolute joy to watch. He's a stud too, man. Another one that I'm telling you, there's some receivers, some freshman receivers around the country right now. Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State as well. These guys are serious.
A couple of one-handers the other day. You see them catches from the Ohio State receiver? Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they've been talking about him since spring. They were like, yeah, he's going to be that guy. And you almost wonder, like, they're freshmen. No, I get it. And I mean, but Ryan Williams, he's the only guy ever to get Mr. Football 2 years in a row in Alabama. So that tells you something about who he is, you know. I mean, even Julio Jones didn't do that shit, huh?
Yeah, where's this kid ranked? Where was that Ryan Williams ranked compared to Smith and Coleman?
He was number one. I think he was number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, well, either him or Jeremiah. I think it was kind of between those three guys, though. Coleman, Jeremiah Smith, and Ryan Williams. And who was that other kid? There was
Cam Coleman.
Cam, yeah. But I mean, there was another one. I'm trying to think of who that other kid was. Crap.
He was number. He was like Donovan Mitchell. They're saying he's number one in the 25 class.
Oh, okay.
Devon Mitchell. Sorry, yeah. Devon Mitchell.
Yeah, right. He did reclassify. That's right. You're right, Benji.
Wow.
I forgot about that.
I did not know that.
Has there been a year where this many freshmen wideouts have been that fired? I don't remember it. I mean, I guess if you think about, well, the year that CD came in, he was unreal, right? But I want to say he was came in at the same time as like Jerry Jeudy did and those guys. But I know they left in the draft at the same time. Or no, they didn't, actually. I don't know. No, maybe they did. They did. But anyway, he was around that time frame where you had the guys from LSU, and then you had him, and they all made impacts right away. Of course, you know how LSU is. I think they got a freaking receiver factory down in the swamp somewhere because they just keep on pumping them out too.
Yeah. That's something else, man. Something else.
Oh, good grief, Ryman. Nope, we're not giving Grundy shit around here. He's gagging away just like he does. You realize all these kept him in the conversation by playing trash schools. You guys got to realize outside of the Big 12, they're out of conference. They've got 3 wins against teams that are out of conference, 3 against out of conference teams with a winning record all time that are in the Power 5 anyway. If they were a Power 5 school, 3. And they were both 8-7 win. All 3 of them were 8-7 win teams that they beat. They don't do it. And then against 10-win teams in the Big 12, this is obviously in the Big 12, I think he's like 14-40, something like that. He ain't the guy. It's all smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. It's all smoke and mirrors. It always has been. I said it, and I can back it all up. I wouldn't mind if Hunter. Hey, I think he's. Listen, you cannot deny that what he's doing right now. If the kid stays healthy and they keep winning, I don't care if they win the conference championship because they're not going to win the conference championship. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, somebody said it earlier. Best player on the best team, right? And that could be
not supposed to be on the best team. It's supposed to be the best player.
See, that's my problem with the Heisman Committee. I feel like the goalpost gets moved each year to fit a narrative, right? Like that drives me nuts. Like, what's the criteria? It can't be something different all the time. Like, what's the criteria? Because to me, last year, like it's Penix, but clear. You know what I mean? I don't see how you can give it to Jaden Daniels on a mediocre LSU team.
They were 9-3. They had the worst freaking defense in LSU history, and he still went out there and put up better numbers than any other Heisman winner.
Yeah,
his numbers were better. That's why.
Yeah, he's SEC too, and it was Pac-12.
Correct.
I think that's the big thing. But like, I don't know. I always thought it was the best player on the best team, but maybe it is whatever they want it to be.
The thing is, the best team part of it, I mean, look, I think that when you look at their receivers and what they had on the offensive side of the ball, especially with him, they were great. But their defense was historically bad for LSU. For an LSU football program, that was historically bad, and they still went 9-3.
Yeah. That Daniels is lighting it up right now in the NFL. He is lighting it
up. Yeah, he's playing better than Caleb Williams is. I can tell you that.
Yes, he is.
OSU gonna OSU. Yes, they are. Oh, he can not anyone, Michael Deese, not anyone, not anyone. It's always going to be in a random spot. Damn sure he ain't going to beat him if it's in a conference championship game. That's why I thought it was so hilarious that they've been acting like they're going to sit and run the Big 12 now that Oklahoma's gone. Yeah, right, buddy. Not playing OU anymore is going to hurt OSU more than they even know. It's going to hurt them more than they even know. Sanders will go number 1 overall. You think,
I mean, I could see that.
I think Shador's probably the best overall, all-around quarterback that's coming out of the draft right now. I agree with that. He's a baller, man. No doubt about it.
Do I agree with it? No, but I could see a world where it happens.
The thing is the NFL teams, nobody hates Deion Sanders in the NFL. And he gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate around college football. The NFL, they all love him. Because he played for so many teams by the time it was all said and done. Yeah. And they all pretty much loved him. I mean, I guess there's probably a few that don't. What's up there, Comanche Sooner? Good to see you, my man. You can't see anyone's messages on the chat? What?
Go to comments.
Are you in the no, it looks like you're on my channel. Hold on just a second. Oh. Let me see real quick.
Oh, she fixed it.
Oh, okay. Cool. I just wanted to look and see anyways real quick, but so yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, like I was saying, there's a lot of good football teams though out there, and there's a lot of good players. I think Milroe right now he's impressing me a lot with just his improvement, because you remember a year ago, as you just said, he got benched after the South Florida game, or after the Texas game is when he got benched. And really, he played pretty well in the Texas game, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't because of him that they lost that damn game. But, you know, it is what it is. I would just say that what? Oklahoma has 12 starters out, including our top 5 wide receivers, completely new offensive lineman injured all winter, summer, and a true freshman quarterback in his first game. Need to give Seth Luttrell a chance. Yeah. It's not really up to us on the Seth Luttrell thing, although I think that you might be in the minority there, Sorchin 22. Welcome into the show. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I have a hard time with some of his play calling. I'll say that. But yes, that was what I was looking at. We've already had 300 people in here watching, and we've only got, come on, folks, 27 likes. Not quite 10%. Get them likes up. Come on. Get them likes up. Mike the Legend. What's up, my man? I was going to send you a link if you wanted to pop in with
Big
us.
Mike.
I'll send it to your Twitter. And then Bishop Frank, do you want to come in too? Or are you working? Let me see here real quick. Dang it. I don't know. Who do you think is who's in the Heisman lead for you right now? This is about the time you start kind of thinking about it, I guess, a little bit.
I mean, I think you got to put Milroe. I think you got to put Hunter. I think Gabriel has a case right now. Slim, but I think there's still conversation.
It's definitely slim.
I'm just thinking of teams that are doing really well. Again, to me, the Heisman Trophy criteria is best player on the best team. And
that's what it's turned into, to be honest with you. And it's not really what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the best football player in the country.
Yeah. and I don't disagree with that either. I think that is, but I mean, I think right now, if you put like, what do they usually have, 4 dudes there in New York? Hunter, Gabriel.
It's in there, Mike.
Milrow.
Yeah, I think it's between Hunter and Milrow to me right now. That's the 2 top ones.
I mean, who else if you put 4, who else would you consider?
That Boise State running back's been very good.
Yeah.
But that's a long shot. He's not going to get it. It's but I would say, man,
looking at Georgia, I don't know if you could put Beck in there.
Not after the game that he just had. He had 3 interceptions and I mean, they went way down. I mean, he brought them back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ashton Jeanty is the best running back at the moment. But I think that still, I guess Dylan. Right now he's still in the running for it. But I would say that it takes a minute to. I mean, we're gonna find out a lot about him here. I guess theoretically. We haven't seen anything from Ohio State because they haven't played anybody yet, but they're getting ready to play Oregon next week. So what's up in there, Mike the Legend? Look at you, man. Damn. You look like you just rolled out of bed. He doesn't even
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Oh, just relishing my Sooner Magic win, brothers.
Sooner Magic. We were just talking about Sooner Magic, man. I was wanting you to come in because I'm gonna get everybody to kind of bring up some of their other favorite Sooner Magic moments, but I knew you would have some for us.
My favorite Sooner Magic moment is my most favorite game was 1976 OU Nebraska. Ooh. Zach Henderson gets a 4th and goal stop in Nebraska's red zone. OU starts out on the 10-yard line, and Barry Switzer calls up the first of 2 trick plays, a halfback pass from Woody Shepard to Steve Rhodes. They get it up around the 50, and then all hell breaks loose. They go negative yards, and then Barry switches Thomas Lott for Dean Blevins. And in the words of the late great Keith Jackson, Dean passes it out to Steve Rhodes. Steve Rhodes does the old hook and lateral with Elvis Peacock on the old flea flicker. How do you do? And OU won the game. OU had to come from behind to win that game, just like Auburn did Saturday. But that's my favorite Sooner Magic game.
I knew this was going to spark this too. Sooner in Texas says Keith Jackson, the one-handed catch while he rumbled down the sideline versus Nebraska in 85. That was 85, right?
Yeah, it was 85 yards on the tight end reverse.
1985 also, right? The 85 year?
Against Nebraska in Norman.
Yep. That's the first football game. That's the first Sooner game I ever went to was that game, that Nebraska game. My dad took me to that
one. Man, we talk about Sooner Magic, but, there was a Sooner Magic moment in my dad's early days of OU football when Bud Wilkinson was coaching in 1950. Mm-hmm. They were playing Texas A&M, and Daddy was at the game. And Texas A&M was up and forced OU where they had to score a touchdown because they had missed the field goal. And Claude Arnold, the quarterback, drove them down the length of the field in under 2 minutes in the 4th quarter. And, of course, Leon Heath scored the touchdown, and OU won their first national championship. So there's Sooner Magic moments all throughout our illustrious history.
No doubt. No doubt. Bishop Frank, I sent that in there for you as well if you want the tight end reverse. Yes. That's Mike's told me this sometimes, he says, Chicken says. it's definitely your favorite. Chicken, what's your favorite Sooner Magic story? Claude Arnold, Purple Orca says 1950 A&M. That would be 34-28 against Texas A&M.
Yep.
Says Claude Arnold. Holy crap. That's the first game on
and
that
what's
Sooner
funny
Magic
about that game, what's funny about that game with Claude Arnold is they run out of the split tee, which was the modern day or the predecessor to the wishbone, and they was run heavy, and Bud turned Claude loose with that right arm. Mike, how we doing this morning, my brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. Not a bad weekend, not a couple dubs. So I'm here.
Hey, this one,
all right,
let me put it up there. The Roy Williams Superman jump. That's definitely right up there with me.
Yeah,
on mine is the Roy Williams.
And let's not forget the Torrance Marshall interception in 2000 at A&M and College Station.
Torrance Marshall interception. There's another one. Absolutely. Yeah. No. Keith Jackson's not dead. Don't. Unless we
Keith
miss
Jackson's
really
still
big,
alive.
Unless we missed something really big recently.
He's not. The Keith Jackson I was referring to was the legendary announcer.
Yeah.
Back
Jackson,
in the 80s.
Yeah. The granddaddy of them all. Keith Jackson is the voice of football.
He'd always say, "Whoa, Nelly."
Whoa, Nelly. He used to do, and before that, he was doing Monday Night Football, and then they, I guess they didn't. Howard Cosell didn't love him, so they moved him to college football.
Yeah,
fit better.
Which Keith, he did. Not only did he do football, he did NASCAR. I mean, he did it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. There's several against the Nebraska that was
yes,
off the ball,
and always at Lincoln. Yep, all the Nebraska Sooner Magic moments were against Nebraska at Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Strikers strip sack, Geno Grissom scoop and score versus Alabama. Yep, that's a great one. I like that one, Clint. Trey Brown spear. Oh yeah, Trey Brown's the tackling Ellinger at the end of the game. That was another really good one too. Now we're just getting into talking about beating Texas, which is always fine. We don't mind that as well. But yeah, throw them down.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Oni Kuna.
Jason, Mike, tell me I'm not drinking my own bathwater when I'm saying that when we face Texas, we're not facing a quarterback like we faced against Tennessee with Nico. Please tell me I'm not drinking my own bathwater.
Wait, say it again. What? That we're not what?
Please tell me that
part again. I get that part, but what was the other part?
that we're with Texas. We're not facing a quarterback that we faced like Nico, whether it's Arch or Quinn or whatever.
I don't think so, but that doesn't really matter though. I don't think it wasn't Nico that beat Oklahoma.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think Nico is as good as yours.
I don't know.
He will be though. He'll be
better than yours, but I don't know that
right now.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He's not as.
No.
Well, I don't know though, man. I don't know why people love Quinn so much.
I'm not a huge Quinn fan either, but I don't think.
No.
I think if you're talking about this year as we play him, Quinn is the better quarterback. Now, long term, I think Nico will be better. He's bigger. He's
Nico's
faster,
stud, man. No doubt.
He can sling it.
Right.
Quinn's been in the game a little bit longer, so it's not just, it's more mental too. When I think of like better quarterbacks, like it's a little bit more like he's seasoned a little bit more.
Yeah. That's fair. Big Finn, yeah, we'll keep him out for a minute. You can't bring that. You cannot bring that game up in here and get away with
let
that.
me read them before you ban them. You banned them quick today. I don't think I've caught them. I ain't got them.
Big Finn was talking about 49-0. We don't get to talk about that in here. Not on this show.
No.
Not
that was too.
Fuck that guy. He's not banned. He's just in timeout. He's just in timeout. That's all.
That 49-0 is about as stale as day old bread.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the last who won the last one? That's all we got to talk about. Who won the last one?
That's right.
That's what it is. So, Arch is going to be better than Quinn, though. I think Arch may be better than Quinn now.
Yeah,
he might be.
I think he might be better. I got to tell you, somebody asked me this yesterday on Coach Rich's show. I'd rather face Quinn. I hope he's coming back because I think Arch is better.
I do too.
That's just me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm licking my chops for either one of them. I don't even care, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because Quinn's shown us the propensity that he'll give us the ball. And I think Arch, he's still susceptible to being fooled. And I think BV will trick him. Get him in a couple situations.
Now, I would say that, but I also think that he's going to do that with Quinn too. And Quinn already Quinn has an issue with having, they're always talking about it that he gets, a little in his head and freaked out. He needs his pills. He needs his pills, man, before the game.
Yeah, it don't matter. I'm 100% honest with you, and what I think, I don't think it matters. I think we're bringing the heat.
I don't think it matters either. I think that whoever they play, they beat. You can play them both if you want to. They're both going to get beat, so it doesn't really matter. I think that it's just going to be what it is.
And I'm going to give myself a shout out. This is my 54th consecutive Red River rivalry, whether I've attended or watched on TV.
I'm not quite that old, but I go back to 85 is when I was I can remember watching it then, and that's when I went. So to the Nebraska game, we didn't go to the Red River that year. I think my first
you went to the 85 Texas game that I was at when Boz teed off on Todd Dodge.
Oh, I missed that one. I think the first time we went to a Texas game was probably like 87, 88 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like and then I didn't go again until I was a sports writer. So,
man, that 85 Boss teed off on Todd Dodge hard.
Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that part. Yeah, Todd Dodge he was a high school coach in Texas for a long time. Elio, thank you for the super chat, sir. Good morning, Jason and everyone. Hey, Mr. Bogo. Quite the game with JC in Manhattan on Friday, he said.
I mean, if you're a Manhattan fan, it was.
God.
Hey, they teed off. They got off in our butts, bro. 55-0, I think, what it was. Wasn't even bad, man. They was beating us up. Our guys didn't want to tackle that running back, man. That dude coming downhill. It was pretty much like, yeah, I'm good on that. They're making business decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, as far as Sooner Magic moments go, yes, we cannot forget Caleb Williams just a few years ago. That was as magical as it gets for to come back from that far down and win. And he was unreal the whole way.
Oh my God.
What a fucking game. What a fucking game. Wow. Let's see. I don't know who Texas starting quarterback's going to be, Greg Ray says, but I know they're going to turn the ball over to us. Facts.
Yep.
Love it. We got 2 weeks of this, folks. Pace ourselves a little bit. Let's pace ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, let's pace ourselves. Let's relish in the bye week and get our wounded soldiers back on the battle lines.
Yeah, and shout out to Nelio again.
Yeah, shout out Nelio.
Way to go on beating up on and they beat the brakes off the Pokes last weekend too.
I loved every minute of it because
Me
I
too.
hate the Pokes as bad as I hate Texas.
Pretty much, yeah. And we saw this coming. You know, you're gonna stick with that old man playing quarterback, and he sucked. He sucked when he was a young guy, and now he sucks as an old guy. So it's pretty wild to me. But they're not even get. It's. I think. What did he have? Like 75 yards or something in the first quarter, some shit like that.
Something like that.
He didn't get the ball anymore after that. Oh,
Doesn't make
He
sense.
forgot to drink his Geritol that morning.
I mean, when he runs, he even looks old when he runs.
Well, I was talking about Ollie had 75 yards, and then they just forgot about him. You know, it's just like, which is just, it's just Okie light enough to do some shit like that too. Just stupid, man. I can't believe that. But they got that. When they got that kid, what's his name? I think it's Seth something. He was out in like Nebraska or something like that. It feels like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got that. He played with my little cousin. Damn, they got it. He's from Gretna.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big kid. He's got a big ass arm.
God, what the hell's his name?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. It's just slipped my mind his name right now. But he's a good player. I don't know why they're not doing it. But yes, Avery Johnson. Holy shit, he kind of came into his own this past week. Huh?
That boy DJ Giddens. That boy DJ went bananas.
Giddens
Yeah, he did.
Junction City, stand up. DJ Giddens was killing him.
He was. He did. Great game. Great game by them. It was definitely fun to watch that second half when it went from close to not at all. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Hey, Ryan Lemon. When I met my wife, I wasn't allowed to grow a beard, so that didn't work, man. I might have been looking all dapper, you know what I mean, with the smirk, but I wasn't stroking my beard, man. Like I can't keep touching, man. I'm still getting used to it, you know.
Yeah, the Army wasn't allowing all that shit.
No,
man.
hell no.
No. Yep.
No, they'd run a credit card on your face after you shaved, make sure you had a nice smooth.
Oh yeah, man.
Hey, Bishop Frank, thank you for re-upping one more time. 14 months now for Bishop Frank as a member of the Hall of Fame Mafia. Thank you for re-going. He says MHK Silencer, aka Michael Hawkins Jr., QB1. He is the dude, man.
He is the dude.
He is the dude.
Hey, Jason, can I ask you and Big Mike something that after watching Gabe and Teddy yesterday that made me think of something? Did y'all see Danny Stutzman wearing that thing behind his?
Yeah.
And Gabe said that Danny was off his game and was wondering if anything is possibly wrong with Danny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything. I have no clue. But having been a wearer of said neck device a few times, probably got a stinger or two. And it's that'll slow you down. And that will make you think twice before running in there and just popping somebody. I don't know if you ever had a stinger, but it'll shut you down.
Absolutely.
It'll shut you down for about 10, 15 minutes.
That's what I was saying last night. Because I didn't. You could tell he missed a couple of tackles, right? And it just didn't seem like he was.
He wasn't in there like he was with his head and shoulders.
He was always still around the ball. I'll give you that part. I didn't. But and the way Kip was playing, I mean, dude.
Oh God,
brother, Kip killed it the whole game. The whole game. But I also think that, you know, the fact that they're tired a little bit, but I agree with Big Mike. I think that if you look at it, yeah, probably that's what it is. Maybe and stingers are a bitch, man, and it just stays there. He just needs to go get a good pop and he'll probably be fine. But he needs to, you know, it can take a while to get over, but 2 weeks he should be good to go again.
You gotta let that nerve calm down. Yeah, let it calm down. and a good chiropractic adjustment. I mean, you can get some you can get some shots where you can numb that nerve root right there. Trust me, I've had it. Doesn't feel good in the moment, but it'll numb it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the perfect time for the bye week, Rob. You ain't wrong. Welcome into the show too. Lone Wolf as well. Who else we got in here that's new? Purple Orca, I didn't say hello to you, I don't think yet. Mars Jams. Clint Pinckney, thanks for coming in, guys. Jay Fez. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Yep. Caleb Stacy, Texas defense is still suspect. I agree. Just rub some dirt on Benji says.
Yeah. Listen, I wish it was that easy, man. Like them stingers are no joke.
It's not.
No joke. That's what made me shut it down. That's why I wasn't trying to let me play my senior year of college. I was like, yeah, right. So I got those nerve injections, and the guy was like, you can only get about 3 of them.
Oh,
before you start like possibly doing damage. And I got 2 that year. And
Damn.
I got 2 shots, I should say. I got it. That first shot lasted me all the way up till I think we were playing Oregon State, and right after they won the national championship that year, we had them beat. They got a lucky bounce. But I was coming down the line, and that little running back, his name was Ken Simonton, and I hit him. I didn't think he seen me coming. I thought I blasted him, and it felt like I ran into a brick wall, man. That little stout, just stubby dude, man. And I remember a stinger, and the next thing I knew, I was on the sideline, and I didn't know what the hell happened, man. I blacked out. Like them stingers, no joke, joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shut me down. That's why my football career ended, was a neck injury.
Right there. Yeah, that'll do it, man. And you've seen it happen to people, and just like Kyle Dupuis said, he fought them all last year too.
Yep.
Look, I mean, he had some injury issues last year. Just hopefully he'll be okay. And here's the thing I'll say, and I just said this earlier too, Mike. We were talking about just the fact that all the injuries that these guys have gone through, for them to be 4-1. I know we're bitching and complaining about a lot of stuff. If you're an Oklahoma fan right now, we're bitching about Seth, and we're bitching about the quarterback playing. We're bitching about the fact that we want to put it on Bill Bedenbaugh. All these injuries, and they're still finding ways to win. That tells you something about the nature of this football team.
Yeah.
And who they are, and they come together and love. They play for each other, and they play for Coach V.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it ends up. I don't know how this season ends up, but I see that no matter what happens with this season, it's going to be really good for the future.
It is. Yeah. Well, Jason, I told you on one of your shows at the end of last season that if anybody's going to come after BV, that they better do it this year, because next year the floodgates is going to open at OU.
Hey, I think this best 4-1 is like best case scenario. It could be so much worse with the offensive line struggles, the receivers being down, marginal quarterback play. Like, we could easily be, 3-2 or 2-3, like easy.
Yeah.
And we're staring down the barrel of a sub 500 year, first year in the SEC. Like, this is best case scenario, and we're starting to get better. We're gaining momentum, and man, it could be worse, man. I think we're very fortunate in with the coaching staff and the culture that we got going on, that these kids didn't just lay down. They're fighting. They're fighting.
And that's what the announcers in the ball game said against Auburn. They said, hey, OU could have packed it in and went to the house with that score, but they fought back and beat Auburn. And, me as a fan on going in, I don't get into all the Jordan Hare bullshit and vibes and voodoo, but at the end of the day, OU went into a very hostile environment on the Plains and come out with the dub.
Well, the guys that were talking about it, they said it was the loudest they'd ever played anywhere. It was the loudest game or the loudest venue they'd ever been in. So, and so for it to be, I think that 9-3 9-3 would be absolutely a possibility, because I think you got to look at it is that it kind of depends on who else goes 9-3 though. But
Yeah, that's right.
If you look at this schedule that they're playing, and they're playing a bunch of top 10 teams, heck, Texas was number 1 coming into this week until Alabama beat Georgia like that.
Yeah.
They're still number 2. They're going to go into the Red River game number 2 unless Alabama was to somehow fall and lose the game, which isn't going to happen.
No.
Texas ain't going undefeated. You're about to lose 2 in a row there, Benji. But they also said it wasn't as loud as OU. Okay. Oh, God. All right. I didn't hear that part, but that's cool. I'm going to tell you what. I was there. We were there. Big Mike was there too. It was freaking loud for the Tennessee game. Loud.
I saw a clip of a couple Tennessee players following the Oklahoma game where they were just dismissing, how loud it was, and
because they have 103,000 people at Neyland.
They were like, yeah, it wasn't nothing, so it is what it is. And I kind of chuckled at that.
I think it's funny too. Here's the thing: you don't have to be the biggest stadium to be loud. And no, because Holly Rose said that it was the loudest they had seen in 2 years on their meter.
117 decibels,
louder than LSU last year.
And I think we're talking about record and getting in the playoff. This is right where we want to be as an Oklahoma team, right? Oklahoma making it to the playoffs is in our hands. Like, we have the schedule to do it, and if we knock off all these top 10 teams like we think we can, we're in.
Yep.
We're in. It's set up for us. We just got to execute and perform.
I've told you guys all year that I didn't believe in buy Ole Miss. I don't buy Mizzou, and they tried to lose to Vandy last week. Found a way. I'll give them credit. They ended up winning the game, but probably shouldn't be losing to Vandy or being in overtime with Vandy. And it wasn't even at Vandy. So, that's and look, I know everybody's in love with Texas. They haven't played anybody with the freaking pulse yet. The first one is going to be against Oklahoma. And I'm telling you, they're about to lose 2 in a row.
Yeah. Sooner in Texas, I wonder the same thing.
The reason that it's called the Plains is that part of Alabama.
It is on the Plains. Yeah.
It's not as hilly as some of the state is, even though it's not the Plains, but
it's not like Oklahoma or Kansas or anything like that. But it is the Plains. It's
they refer
out there. The Plains. I love it.
Hey, I tell you what was cool though in that game that I've never got to watch an Auburn game from start to finish. Was seeing their War Eagle descend from the top of the stadium down to the field. Man, that was freaking awesome, dude.
So I've been there, right? I've like I said, I used to live down in the area, and I've been there, and maybe it's just underwhelming to me, but I do not remember the War Eagle. I don't know what it is or what it was, but I do not remember that taking place. And maybe I just, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, or maybe I was getting some beers. I have no idea. I do not remember that happening. I'm gonna say this, Mike, and I'm gonna bring it up on our show today, this afternoon. But everybody was talking about OU's defense and the how they didn't seem like they was in the last 4 games, and I come up with this theory that OU their defense has had to play so hard up to the Auburn game in the first 4 games that they were probably mentally exhausted going into that Auburn game, and maybe had a little bit of a hangover from that Tennessee game. What you think, Mike? Yeah. The defense didn't look the same. couple missed tackles, couple runs that probably should have been minimal gains, stretching out in the 5 to 10 yard gain. And I think that may be maybe a little fatigue. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but they have played a lot of snaps over this part of the season, and hopefully the offense will continue to get better and limit those snaps. But I mean, you looked at I remember the time of possession for Auburn and Oklahoma during that game was lopsided in Auburn's favor.
Mm-hmm.
I think over time and the accumulation of the season, that stuff will wear down, and that's where we got to do a better job of rotating guys and subbing guys and getting it all hashed out and get dudes breathers in game, and they got to take advantage of that elite recovery they got it up in the stadium, and recovery, man. Like I miss that stuff, man. I used to, when we used to go on the recruiting visit, I used to go laying up in the massage chairs and just let them kids do, let them go walk around, getting in the massage chair, the gravity bed. I was trying it all out, man. It was lovely. I love that. But yeah, they gotta take advantage of it, man. Getting them cold tubs and recover, and get massages and get their butts back in gear. And we got a 3-game stretch coming up right here with big 3 games until we got Maine coming up, and maybe we can get some of these younger cats in there and handle business with Maine, with some of these young cats that we're saving for redshirt. But yeah, we got a 3-game run right here. It'd be really nice to go 3-0.
Hey, Jason, did you hear my comment? I said to Big Mike.
I did. About
What's your take on it?
I think it's fair. It's a fair statement, and I think maybe a little dinged up. But we were talking about it a little bit before you came in, is that for what you kind of had to go through at that point, it made it to get through that game and not get blown out in the Tennessee game because of the way the offensive played. It took a lot out of that football team.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. If you think about the Tulane game, look at what they just did to South. They beat the brakes off of South Florida.
My God.
And they gave Alabama all they wanted a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that's something you got to look at.
I'd like to see the offensive snap count versus the defensive snap count and see how many snaps our offense has played as compared to our defense. I'd like to see that. Somebody's PFF guru out here can navigate that website, but
yeah. Hey, I'm getting some background noise here, Mike. I don't know if that's coming from you or.
You want me to? What kind of background noise is it, Jason?
It sounds like it's echoey. It's real echoey. Let me mute you and see if it's you.
Okay.
Yep. That's where it was coming from. Yeah, it's pretty echoey, man. You want to try to pop out and pop back in a second when you're check and see on your computer. Maybe it's coming from there. I don't know. Hey, Jay, if you welcome into the show, Jay. Palace was definitely louder. And yeah, Jay was at the game, and he was at both games, so he would be one to tell us. Yeah. You want to pop in? I just sent one to your I know you've been busy lately, but
there you go. Many hats.
He does wear many hats, many hats. Let's see. Mike. Missing him now. He's not even popping up. Oh, it just, I think that's what it is. Kick him. I'll kick him and he can come back in. All right. I think the more our offense moves the ball, the defense will get rest and they'll be better. I think you're right, Sooner Brandon. We were kind of talking about that the other day too, was that that's one of the things that you kind of have to look for, is that's why it was so important that you make the switch. First off, you can't have the turnovers for sure. We talked about that, but also you got to stay on the field. Look, the times when we know that OU's defense wasn't very good, particularly the last few years of Lincoln Riley. But once once it got to a point where they weren't playing well, if the offense struggled a little bit here and there, this is when you would start seeing those comebacks happen, So, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, John Summerall isn't in Nolans and Tulane long. That guy can flat out coach. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, man. He's gone, and that quarterback is definitely gone.
Oh yeah, he won't be there long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a stud.
Still low. I'm still picking him to get to Florida. I think that if they're smart, and the big hire and the big splash hire, dude, come on, man, like that. I don't know. You find you a coach that can coach, proven it, and that Summerall is the one.
Mm-hmm. He's a good coach, man. He's a good coach. Definitely. But again, that's what I say. You've gone through some situations, though. You played a good team and look, and we know that. I mean, yeah, is Houston real good? No, but they have a coach that knows how to get ready for a game like that too. And so I think that's something that you think he's going to end up at Florida, Brandon. Brandon says I would be that surprised with it if they don't. But I think that Lane losing the other day, if he loses, like they got to play. Well, they got Alabama, right? And then they got us. So, I mean, I don't think Lane's going to the playoff this year either. So if they really want him, they're going to get him. If that's who they really want, I don't know. I think that Summerall. I also think there's a lot of really good young coaches though out there. I think G.J. Kinney is a hell of a coach at Texas State. I would tell you that Jeff Traylor's another one of those guys that's a hell of a coach. Wouldn't surprise me to see any of those guys get that job. And G.J. has killed it, man, everywhere. I mean, you go down and he's the one that started Cam Ward on this whole deal when he was at Incarnate Word down there. So, and winning ugly is still winning. But that's the whole point, guys. When you go through this kind of stuff and you find a way to win, it galvanizes your football team. A lot of people are going to sit here and continue to doubt this team, and that's the best. Like Big Mike said a minute ago, that's a great thing when they're doubting you. Nobody expects you to beat Texas. We know that you can beat Texas. We all know that. And so, yeah, that's right, Zias. The defense didn't look dominant versus Auburn. They look good, but not dominant. That's true.
They dominated when they need to.
Exactly. And I also think that, you have to take into consideration that they're probably not as bad offensively as you think they are. And they've moved the ball. They were talking about it on the broadcast. They've moved the ball all year. They just hadn't really, they'd had a lot of turnovers coming into it. I think they're leading the country.
I think I would have liked to see us blitz and put pressure on that quarterback. I thought we let him get a little too comfortable and let him sit back there in the pocket. And I thought we should have. I would have liked us to bring a little bit more heat and get some hits on that cat, and because he's obviously gets rattled, and you see what he does when he sits in there, he gets a little confidence. Because I mean, that to me, that team and that stadium was just waiting for something to happen early in that game, and they were shut it down. And we let them hang around, and instead of happening at the beginning of the game, it happened 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And I just wish we'd have came at them a little harder, a little quicker, right from the jump.
And how about the Mason Law Firm?
Yeah. Listen, and that's the whole thing. Is again, you went through some things that didn't work out, and as Big Mike just said, but the way that they closed out the game. And the way Kip Lewis played the entire game, he was all over the place, making plays.
Billy had people talk a lot. There've been a lot of Billy Bowman hate. I've seen it, and let's not act like it ain't out there, because there ain't gonna be none of that on my timeline. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Billy played his ass off. He may have got a little hold on a big tight end right there in the end zone, but man, Billy was coming up and supporting the run and just playing his ass off. There's a video I retweeted some dude showing Billy beat the block of a 6'5", 250-pound tight end and just shucking him like a rag doll. And dude, I was like, wow, I did not see that in the game. Usually I see that stuff, but I missed that one. And let me tell you something. If you want to see something, go on my Twitter page and look for that retweet of mine. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got to tell you that even the other night we were kind of talking about that in on K. Chris's show, and I'd said that I'd love it if he wasn't missing some tackles here and there. But I had to going back. I've obviously watched the game 3 times now. Yeah, I have to take it back. He was great. He was great there. RSJ though, to be fair, also unbelievably good the last 3 weeks. He's been really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spun that runner at the goal line. Is like what Stink said. Yeah, he chopped him down at the goal line on that 4th down play. Is that Billy play? Chopped him down. I mean, and that kid was running hard.
Yeah.
So, look, man, he does do that. He does do that, Richard. But in the end,
oh my God.
It's easy to say that stuff, though. It's also, you got to remember that Venables throws stuff at these guys that they're not ready for a lot of time.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when your kicker's last name's Magoo, like you're destined to miss two back-to-back
right?
like that.
Why the hell would you recruit that guy?
Dude, you can't. Dude, I was cracking up watching the game.
I was too.
What's so funny? I'm like, you gonna hear this cat's name? And I was like, then he's gonna go miss 2 in a row, 1 on an untimed down. Like, come on, man. It was bound to happen. It was destiny.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil, thank you for that.
Sorry, I'm laughing because when they said his last name, Magoo, I just busted out laughing thinking of that old cartoon I grew up with, Mr. Magoo.
All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I see what Richard's saying. I get it, that he should have given it time, right?
Yeah.
Young Hoku.
Yeah. Some good kicker names out there. Dicker the kicker. It's actually Young Way, but I approve of that pronunciation.
I do too.
But I mean, and I think rushing him on it, and then he shanks it, and then he comes in and shanks it again. I mean, it was definitely maybe that was part of Sooner magic too, though. I'll just tell you that much. It's kind of something that happens, but the truth is that you need to points are at a premium when you play a Brent Venables defense, and they all know that. They all know that.
Always got to get them.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get them. So, to me, I think that I think that, like Jay was saying on the last comment that he said, is one of those things that that he's going to come up with a good game plan. Now he's going to, there's always going to be something stupid, and he was talking about it on his show last night that there was somebody sitting right by, and it was like, yeah, we're screwed. Y'all are going to win. And it was when they were still up, when we were up 11. But I would just tell you that I didn't never feel great about it going into it. But then all of a sudden, that I think another part of it too is when you get a little bit of energized when he hit that pass, that deep ball. It was look, we've been watching Dylan Gabriel be 5 yards short for freaking 2 years on plays like that, right? And this was dropped in the bucket. Mike said earlier, you couldn't have walked up there and handed it to him in a better position. When you have a play like that, and then of course you start believing a little bit, because look at what he did on that 3rd and 5 in the first series that they had, breaking that one for 48 yards. Great run. I think that these little things, I've said it over and over from week to week, they just got to get a little better on defense or on offense, and the defense is gonna continue. You have to know that they're gonna get carried by this defense, but you got to carry some weight yourself after a while, right?
Yeah.
But
little little things lead up to big things. That's the way I take it. And we're doing some little things and these little things is going to blow the floodgate open, and we're going to get back.
Yeah, Cracker Mac, I think that maybe, but he had some good runs in this past game. He had I thought he looked really good in the game this weekend.
He had some good runs. Like there's some holes there. Ran physical in between the tackles, which I like. We just didn't have our 1-2 combination, with Tatum come in. But I mean, he caught that little running back flat right there, play action, caught a touchdown. That I'm gonna tell you something. That call by that referee on illegal motion of our guy coming to motion and turning up, like, dude, that was terrible. It was almost worse than the block in the back call they gave on Petaway on that long run. Dude, those were two of the worst calls I've ever seen. And I don't know nothing about SEC officials. Let them play. And SEC's the physical. Bro, that was weak. That was weak. They needed
that was weak.
Terrible. That was unbelievable bad.
And look at those little nitpicky calls that, I mean, we moved the ball into very positive yardage that moved us back into negative yardage. I mean, to me, that took about at least 10 points away from us.
Listen,
right.
And the other one too is, I think, on that Sawchuck run, like that.
Yeah,
that hold was soft. That was like Charmin, like baby shit soft. Like that was terrible. Golly.
Hey, there was definitely, and man, they talk about it all the time. You're going to get bad calls in the SEC, and we've been expecting. Hell, we've been getting them for a while too. But again, a lot of things have happened. Look, you can talk about a fish shade, and you can talk about a lot of shit that has not gone Oklahoma's way. For them to be 4-1, it tells you that this team has resiliency. All these injuries, everything that's happened, and you find a way. And I'm telling you, comebacks like this always seem to turn into something better.
Right. You're exactly right, Jason.
And it's happening right before Red River. To me, you get a couple of weeks off. You get a chance to get a couple of these guys healthy. You certainly should be healthier on your O-line. Maybe you get Burks back. I hope you get Taylor Tatum back. Because I can tell you one thing, Taylor Tatum was starting to get rolling. So hopefully hopefully they get that rotation under control a little bit and get him back in. But look, you get those guys back, and then you get some of these linemen back. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'd love it if Andrell came back. I don't know. I keep feeling like it feels like you're hearing that it may not happen, right? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
And some guys don't respond to it as well, to that surgery, when you tearing that ACL like that. It just doesn't always go always right.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, I've had a deep thigh bruise before, and let me tell you something. It ain't no joke.
Yeah.
Yep. And as far as like when it comes to Nick, I would say that I'm not playing into any of that other stuff. I think he's hurt, man. And groin injuries, we were talking about that last week too. That shit don't go away very quick.
Yeah, no.
Well,
I sent a message the other day on your thing. The one thing I can say about my college career, I stayed hurt, right? So in my senior year, I popped my groin, like I tore it. And let me tell you something. That was in 2001. I was 22. Like I'm 45 now, and my groin ain't been right since. Like it's not the same. And let me tell you, man, that stuff, like, that'll haunt you, man. Those are painful.
I've always thought that groin strains and hamstrings, playing football, that the players never fully recovered.
Yeah.
I mean, a prime example is
it's tough. It's tough when the hamstrings suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, same type of deal. It's really kind of the same deal, really. And that's why. But I would also say that with Quinn Ewers, he's got that. Didn't they say it was an oblique injury or whatever? I don't know that that's going to be that. There's a reason why he didn't make it back already, because I guarantee you he hurts like hell. That shit hurt. You got to use it.
Core and everything, man. Core is everything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But
one thing that dude cannot afford to have is a weak ass freaking fastball. We know that because he's got everything. He's weak minded, so we know he can't afford to have a weak fastball.
Yeah, that throwing motion, man. There's a lot of hip, core. Yeah. You know, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see.
My favorite hit of the game though Saturday was that RSJ hit toward the end of the game, buddy. That was freaking. Yeah, that was brutal.
All time, man. We needed that.
RSJ is, like you said, Jason. He is coming into his own.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You know, I saw all the you know, Peyton Bowen's going to be starting and but like what they don't realize is you know, they're kind of two different positions with Peyton and you know, or that free and that strong safety, you know, and RSJ, man, he's coming up to hit you now.
Yeah.
You know, he's coming with bad intentions, and yeah. I've never discounted RSJ from the beginning of the year. Like that dude is bringing the wood.
He is
covering. He's playing like, man, he's got an interception. Dude's having a hell of a year, man. I hope he's got to continue.
Yeah,
we need it. We need that.
And I agree with you, Big Mike. There's going to be no Billy Bowman hate on our watch.
Yeah. Hey, so here's what I tell you. If you guys, I don't know if you guys watch this, but you know, it's the Coach's Corner. I think, you know, usually it's they had Coach Hall on there, and he talks about Billy and how Billy is and what he brings to that safety room and to the team. You know what I mean? Like some of that stuff, like you can't quantify that, right? You can't quantify that type of leadership and how that affects other people. You know, it's beyond stats. It's beyond picks. It's beyond tackles, pass breakups, you know, getting everybody ready and bringing that edge to practice every day. It's you can't quantify that, man. And it's real leadership. So you know, miss me with all that Billy having a bad year talk. I ain't trying to hear it.
Well, and I think what we were talking about the other day in the Tennessee game, he definitely had his hand in the cookie jar when they gave up that touchdown. I think that's what they're talking about for the most part. I know that I talked about that on this show, that's he did. He was looking in the backfield too long and he got burned.
No, I don't. I'm not talking about.
He's gonna but they're gonna make mistakes sometimes. Yeah. But the thing is, at this point, it's been the reason that it's so noticeable for God's sakes, nobody from Oklahoma says chase a fucking thing about this defense ever because of the defenses that they've had in the past. So
that's what I'm saying.
It's been so bad offensively that it's noticeable when you give up anything.
Yeah. You know? And that's what the RPO does, right? It freezes you, right? Because you have to play that run, and then all of a sudden they pull it back, and next thing you know, you got a bang egg coming in behind you. You know, and it is what it is. Like Billy's got to be right every time. You know, that offense only needs to be right one time, and he looks terrible. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But yeah, like I've seen it on boards, I've seen it on Twitter, like you know, I've seen people say that
knee-jerk reactions happen, man. Unfortunately, this is the fan base, and to be fair to my audience, it's not a bunch of the guys here. Thank God.
No. And like I said, I've seen them. They're saying, you know, my son and Hardy and Powers are better than Billy. Like I can't take you serious if you're saying that. You know, who knows down the road, but like that's just asinine. Like Billy is a leader. He's a hell of a football player. he's going to get drafted this year. Like, where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? It's just hate, man. And I'm not going for it.
I said it last week that we were grasping at people were grasping at so many straws. I mean, you heard a million things. Look, we sat in there. I mean, I watched every game 3, 4, 5 times, whether fire Billy Bowman Sooner in Texas says. I know you're talking trash. But it's so many problems that there were last week. You know what the real problem was? Turning the ball over in key situations. That was it.
Yeah. That
was really the biggest problem against Tennessee. Everywhere else, they played pretty well. For all things considered, if you look at the offensive line, it wasn't an O-line problem. I don't even know that. And when we were talking we had Mackey on the show on Friday, and he was like, "Look, you could say what you want about Seth last week too, but I'll tell you another thing. I showed it on there. It had to come off of the video because it demonetized me. But look, that interception that Jackson threw, if he could have thrown it 3 seconds late, and it's a touchdown. If he throws it to 6, if he throws it to Deion Burks, that's a touchdown. Because if you go back and watch that, the safety was always looking at JJ. He turned his back. That's the worst thing you do as a safety is turn your back to the receiver. He had his back turned to Deion. Touchdown City. All he had, and I mean, guys, we're talking about he threw that ball confidently in the double coverage and really triple coverage by the time it was all said and done. And that's a touchdown. Look, go back and look at that. The fake pitch was the call. Hell, pitch the fucker, and it's a touchdown. He walks in. Javonte walks in on that one. The blocking wasn't bad all day long. They had a couple of times they got their ass kicked. That's also a hell of a defensive line, by the way. Hell of a defensive line and super deep. Yeah. And they still, I don't care what anybody from Tennessee is saying. Do not care what they're saying. If it ain't for the turnovers, Oklahoma wins that football game.
Yep.
If Michael Hawkins starts that game and plays the way he played this weekend, Oklahoma wins that football game.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep. I agree, Jason.
It's not that far off. And it's easy to, the sky is falling. It's really not, though. And again, I think that you sometimes agreed, no turnovers, we win the game. No doubt. And and the thing is, though, hell, it's just like life, folks. You got to go through some shit sometimes for it to work out.
Yep.
Bishop Frank calls it the fire test all the time. You got to go through some of these things.
Yeah.
And until you get tested, you're not going to be, you don't know how you're going to react to the situation. This is why I love the way that they're coming into this football game.
And how about Jackson Arnold being engaged on the sideline when Hawk would come off and they'd gather around to talk about Jackson was engaged. He had his helmet on. That said a lot about Jackson right there. He could have took the low road and been a big baby about the situation, but no, he manned up and he stayed engaged. Did you notice that, Jason?
I did. We were talking about that earlier. And Richard, you can respectfully disagree, and I'll disagree right back with you. Oklahoma turned them over both times inside their own territory. One was on the 5-yard line.
Yep.
One was on the 30-yard line, and on the very next play, gave it right back to them.
Yep.
So, yes, they turned them over, but you did nothing with it. If they just get field goals on those two things, it's a different story at the half. It's not what was it, 12-3?
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, but it's not 12-3 at the half.
Yeah.
It's 10, or it could have been tied. Could have been tied up. Should have been 10-10. But they got that ball on the 5-yard line and fumbled it on the next play.
And I did have PTSD in one particular play in that game Saturday.
Me too. I know exactly where you're going. I did
shotgun snap on the 1-yard line.
Ridiculous. I can't deal with it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and I'm proud of him too. Kimberly K, you're right. We were talking about that. We talked about that on K Chris's show. We talked about it with me and Coach Ricks. We've talked about it already here today. I agree. I think that you may yet need Jackson at some point this season. You don't know. I mean, hell, the way everything else has been going, who's to say? You might.
Yeah.
And the fact is that he's still engaged. He had his helmet on the whole way. He was involved in what, Jay said it on their show last night that he felt like he thinks he's going to come back. I don't know about all that, but I think that we may need him still this year. He's not going anywhere right now. And I think he knows that doesn't help you get to the next really good program by, bailing on your teammates here. And he loves his teammates.
Yeah.
Hey,
and the teammates love him.
He could have easily pulled a UNLV and said, I'm redshirting.
Yep.
Saving that year. He could have usually pulled one of them cats, right? I'm a redshirt and save myself some years, if he does choose to transfer afterwards. You know what I mean? But he hasn't.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Yeah.
Well, and not to pile on to Jackson here, but in what Richard's talking about, the shotgun on the 1-yard line. Yeah, well, and I agree with what you're saying there. I'd love to see them get under center and whatever. And they did it again against Auburn and got out of it, but it was not a great play. But I'll tell you this. But I'll tell you this though, that was you had a offsides on the first play, and then you had Jackson missed on changing. They didn't change the protection there. And that's something that Jackson was supposed to do. And it didn't happen. You listen to Gabe and Teddy. Teddy said it. He said, nobody blocks the fucking 3 technique.
Hey, man. Hey, their F-bombs mean more on the Oklahoma Breakdown, man. I love it.
Hilarious, man. I cried laughing whenever I was watching that.
Oh,
yeah, Gabe was very animated in that.
I kept going back and listen. I kept going back for 30 seconds to hear it again.
Yeah. They mean more, man. They mean more.
It was hilarious. And Teddy's over there rubbing his bald head, whenever he's doing it, because he was trying not to cry laughing too, I think.
Yeah.
Boy, Gabe,
we all felt like shit though, man. We all felt like shit.
You need to make a recording on your sound card to block the fucking A gap, like you did with Oni Kuno.
Fucking 3 technique, and Devontae Barnes gets blown up.
Yeah. Eddie dropped one earlier in the summer when he's talking about tight end insert and having a tight end playing the fullback role. And I always thought that was an epic F-bomb, man. I love that one too. That one was funny.
It was great. It was great, man. They're great, man. I love that show. Shout out to Teddy and Gabe.
Yeah,
shout out.
Shout out to Jay. And you know what? I'll say this. I think that Locked On has gotten really good since Jay got it there.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. So shout out to Jay. If you're still in here, man, you guys are doing a great job. I know you're too good for us now, but I get it, but you're doing a great job.
Don't forget us little people, Jay.
Yeah, I know, man. We need to let everybody know. No, listen, I do think, old Lane Whiffen. That's what SEC Mike calls him, Lane Whiffen. Yeah, look, I think that but we've all been saying this, guys, that we could see that. And shout out to Kip Lewis. I think did you say that he should win the SEC? Oh, he's the defensive player of the week. He should be.
Yeah,
absolutely should be.
Big time, big play.
Jeremiah says. He's not a snob, dude. Are you serious?
Hey, man, Jay didn't even holler at me last time we went at the Tennessee game, man. I didn't even see him. He didn't even holler at you, but holler at your boy, man. Come on.
I know, man. I haven't talked to him in a damn sight. I haven't talked to him at all, hardly. It's been pretty bad. Nah, he actually talked to me after all that stuff went down with the job thing. I talked to him for a little while that one day. If you take the mask of Sark's face, you will find it's really Kiffin. Ah, they were Twinkies there at USC for a long time. They kind of were. The Bobsey twins at USC. Both of them got fired and unceremoniously from USC. It's great stuff.
Oh yeah,
the old Bobsey twins. 7-win Sark and Lane Whiffen.
And I'm going to give a shout out to our punter, Luke Elzinga.
Balling, bro. Kicking bombs.
And Zach Schmidt, man. After the way that he kicked it last year, dude, you got to give love to Zach, man.
I'm giving love to Zach. Absolutely. He can finally hit a bull in the ass with a bass fiddle.
Hit a bull in the ass with the bass fiddle. And for Texas,
the brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Onikuno.
Hey, do you remember the Last Chance U? Do you guys did you follow the season where they were in Independence, Coach Brown?
Yeah.
Do you follow him?
He's fucking crazy.
Oh my dude, he had me rolling this weekend with all that USC and UNLV players redshirting.
Yeah,
man. If you guys ain't seen that,
he loses his mind.
Quality content. And let me tell you something, man. I watched that for about an hour, and I just kept giggling.
You talk about a guy that loses his mind. Now, when he was on Last Chance U, I mean, that whole it's one long freaking. That's all you see on TikTok. If you watch college football stuff on TikTok, they own it. He owns it because he fighting his coaches, his play. He's telling you sorry motherfucker, telling his quarterback he was a sorry motherfucker and all that stuff.
Dude, he's out of control.
He's out of control. He's a
I love every minute of it. That stuff.
He grew up in Compton, man. He's gangster.
Yeah. It's so good.
I've been laughing at Trap House's last couple of videos. He's been showing Tropic. He's been showing in his video, been showing Tropic Thunder clips.
Yeah.
He's a man. Dude, shout out to Big Trap, man. I've been trying to get him on this show forever, by the way, but he's my boy. Love Trap House.
Love Trap House.
Trap House booming. Trap House. It's our boy, Big Trap. Love
Boomasuna.
But he gets pissy about that offense too. He hadn't been. He hasn't been in a very good mood.
No, he hasn't.
He's an offense guy, and he hadn't been in a good mood. It's been funny though. That gives me a little hope if we can stop the turnovers. You got to stop the turnovers. You Arkansas folks are. Yeah, I don't know Pittman. I'm surprised Pittman's still there after losing that.
Me
game.
too.
But I tell you guys something though. Marcel Reed is a badass quarterback too, though. We were talking about quarterbacks today. Marcel can play, man. He can play. Aggie found the right guy to go with Colin Klein because it wasn't. I think Connor Wegman's a good quarterback. I think he'll find a place to play. But I think Marcel Reed is your guy there for that offense. I think to run with Colin Klein. I think he's the right guy.
Yeah.
He's a stud. He's a stud too.
This year's Heisman it's going to be interesting to see who brings home the trophy.
That's what you're talking about, Richard Shear. I knew it. You said you're sweating this week. That is what you're sweating about. I forgot that was this weekend, but I was looking to see if it was them or if you've got Alabama later this year too.
Who's Texas?
Texas A&M is playing Mizzou. Oh, Mizzou.
I'm about to watch that game this weekend.
Yeah,
it
may not be close for long down there, and it's in College Station, and Missouri hadn't been playing great. I don't know, maybe though.
Yeah, we'll look at that spread real quick.
Mid-Who versus the Cult. It's going to be a hard game to pick. It's going to be a hard game to root for sure. Oh man, Heisman.
Richard, is he a Mizzou fan or is he a? Okay.
Yeah, he's a Mizzou fan.
Okay.
He's not a good. Listen, him and Rob both are, and both of them are like the only two cool Mizzou fans I know.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the cool Mizzou fans.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize. I just couldn't remember.
One of the very few. That
and
I
yes,
guess, I'm going to be nice about Neilio's wife. She went to Mizzou, so she's one. But
the Heisman is made in Oklahoma, so whoever wins it this year, we live rent free in your head.
Hey, don't use that rent free shit. You know that's the mating call for chronic masturbators, dude. Don't use it.
Yeah.
That's a Texas thing, man. Come on.
I only said that, Jason, because I knew you was going to say that.
It is. That's what it is. It's the mating call for chronic masturbators. It's like all them Texas fans, and every time, or A&M fans say it a lot. You know, we need to quit talking about that. But guys, we've been going for a good while here. What else we got? Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask a couple of things first before we left. So we did ask that about the give Oklahoma fans, give us your favorite Sooner Magic moments, and then definitely I want you guys, I'm going to get that link. That's what I'm going to do. I need everybody to vote. Need everybody to vote in the Hall of Fame top 25.
Yeah, I got to turn my list in.
Mike Bog, you're not in the Discord, huh?
Yeah, is that so? That's weekly, so you can just get on there. I did it the first week.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll just start.
Oh, I still got it. I didn't know if
it's a new one every week though.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I haven't got it since the first week you sent it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go get it right now. I'm gonna put
Jason, I'll be honest with you. I'm like Ray Charles when it comes to putting out a list because I suck.
Come on now.
At the polls.
It's got to happen. You're not getting out of it by making an excuse.
Oh, it's easy.
I'm not making any excuses. I'm just telling you when you see my list and you're like going, what the F?
I don't care. I just want it to be voted on. Yeah, I'm gonna send everybody the link here. I'm gonna put it in the description as well, so that everybody who's on the show right now can watch it, can go and vote.
Don't be surprised if I put my high school Luther Lions in the poll. That's how bad I am.
Here's the beauty of it. It's a drop down. You get to pick every team, and you don't even have to write nothing in. You just get to. It's a drop down box.
I'll have it done today, sir.
None of y'all suckers. All right, send. All right. Dropping it.
49-0 might happen again. Please.
What?
Oh, you got a Texas fan in there talking about 49-0. Nothing might happen again.
Get them out. Don't let them stay.
You wish.
63-14 since we're talking old news.
Jackasses. All right, so that's in there. And then I'll also put it in our description for anybody who wants to get it. It's just for today, so it'll be over after today's. But everybody get in there and jump in and make sure that you vote for our top 25.
You know, if we was to beat Texas by 49-0, I wonder if the said fans would come in this chat and eat some humble pie.
No.
You know better.
That because they'd still be saying we still beat you 49-0. Suck it and move on, Texas.
You haven't won the last one. You're not going to win this one. They had a better team last year than they got this year.
Yeah.
Agree. Agree.
And it's a much better defense. And now I feel like, especially now, the offense is starting to move in the right direction. We're going to be good to go, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So vote in the Hall of Fame Top 25 poll. It's also now in the description as well. Make sure that you guys get in there and get it done. Oh, looky there, Benji just got another timeout. Look at there. Got it. All right, guys. Anything else y'all want to add?
Nah.
Nah.
So I've pretty much covered it all.
Yeah, you guys got to do some more here in a little while. So make sure you get over
Yeah,
to
Mike. Go ahead.
over to the Legends. We're close to the Legend. Getting to that 500 mark. Get over there and get it for him. He just gave us some good info and brought up a bunch of old Sooner Magic stuff. You want to get over there and you want to see some more? Get over there with Mike and Mike on Monday afternoons, right here on YouTube, Sooner Legend Podcast. Make sure you guys get over there and check that out as well, and hit the like button, subscribe to his channel. What are you, like 14 away? Isn't that what you said? 14?
Yeah, 14, 486.
All right.
Oh, well, there we go.
It needs to happen. We're 14 away from the big money. So, or at least the little money. He can start getting super chats and stuff. By the way, if you want a super chat, we appreciate super chats from everybody. But the best way to do it, we've dropped the Venmo and the Cash App in there. They don't get 40% like they do from YouTube. So if you want to do a super chat from now on, do that. That helps us out. We appreciate it. You can also get, hey, you guys should definitely be getting into the merch store. As you can see, well, maybe not so good there, but this is my one that's got the black one. We have those available this week, the horns down gear. We've got our, as you can see back here, Texas Fears, Oklahoma. Actually, that one you should be.
I got my Stutzman shirt on, brother.
There you go. Stutzman shirt. I don't have that design right now, but here you go. This is Texas Fears, Oklahoma. I'm making a design for a Sooner Magic right now. So it maybe the one. Did you guys like the thumbnail? The Sooner Magic thumbnail?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll do something like that. Check it out. Anyways, you can get all that in our official merch.
I got the first in Halloween, the Boogeyman shirt. All right. First in Boogeyman Halloween shirt. It's a clever play off the Halloween movie poster. Well, I haven't put anything out there. It's just I just had a couple made. I got a couple other options, but these are things that I made in my own Photoshop skills.
Okay, so
hey Mike,
real quick,
do you have a link for Junior's merch?
Yeah, I put it out there.
You have his merch store? Yeah, put that up there. Put that or send it to me, and I'll make sure to get it in all the. I'll make sure that it's in all that, in all of our stuff. But we've also got. I was going to tell you, we can actually. One of our members in the Discord, his wife has she does a lot of merch stuff and things like that. So you can probably get with her, and they're out of Albuquerque actually.
Yeah, so hey, this is kind of what I did that offer right there. So if you remember that Halloween movie poster, I kind of mimicked off that. But I'll show you a couple quick designs, man. Shirts that I got popping. I don't want to put them out there because then y'all might steal my stuff on my hard-earned work. But I got a couple designs popping off right here. But yeah,
so,
there's gonna be a couple more, man, that we'll put it out there, and I'm trying to work with a local business right here to get some production.
Hey Jason, are you going to be working after a while?
No, but check.
You want to hop on?
I'll get with Rob Hill. I could probably pop in for a few minutes, but I'll get with Rob Hill. It's Rob Hill that's in our Discord. That his wife has a merch store, and they do a lot of that kind of stuff. So I'll get you his information. But you can also check with. I go through Fourth Wall. It's so simple to upload your stuff, and you can. It'll make the website for you. You don't have to do any of it. It's actually pretty simple to do it. But Rob Hills, I don't know exactly what I was going to talk to them and kind of see what it looked like on their end there because of him being a channel member and them doing it. It's kind of cool to get actual personal help. I don't know how much. And Fourth Wall's been pretty good so far. I've had only one issue with one thing that I've bought, but it's simple to pop that stuff in there. But definitely, man, yeah, give us anything that if you have the stuff from Mike's merch store or whatever, give that to us, and we'll get that in all of our info as well. And we definitely want to help everybody out. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Jason, I'd like to give a shout out to your Hall of Fame crew. Most of them has become part of the Sooner Legends podcast family, and I thank them for their support also.
Absolutely, man. Hey, we say it all the time, man. We have great guests. We've got a great audience. They follow us and go and they support the guys that we support. I think that Jay would echo me on this because his audience is my audience for sure. And then of course his is a little bigger, quite a bit bigger, by the way. But and actually we are now though only, let's see, I want to see. I think we're about 100 away from 4,000 subs here.
Come on, guys. Let's get Jason to that 4,000, guys. He has a great show, great content.
109 away, actually. 109. We need 109 to get to 4,000. We were really hoping we'd have gotten there before the season started. We're kind of slow, but I got to say, no complaints out of this because I'll tell you, this month has been a great month for us as far as views are concerned. In fact, I've tripled the views this month from the last few months. Actually, all time, it's tripled. So it's been great. So no complaints out of me, but we can do some more subscribers. So share us, make sure you get us out there, and let's get these subscribers up for everybody. Okay. Coach Rick's is another one that's awesome. If you guys haven't already checked out Coach Rick's show, get over there and check him out, man. He's awesome, dude. He had great content last night. Love his show as well. So. Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming in. I appreciate you guys. We will be back here tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern time for not for Rise and Shine. That'll be for Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the Coach, our night show, and then of course Wednesday morning as well for Rise and Shine College Football right here, where it always is, HOF-CFB right here on YouTube. You can find me also at HOF. JW_HOF on Twitter. And yeah, man, just find us, check us out, hit that like button. And hey, Richard Shear, put your do you post that your model anywhere? Because we'll be reading your best bets for Friday. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, he's been putting out, he went 7-4 last week. That's good. Hey man, anything over 500 makes you money for sure.
That's right.
So keep posting that. He did a good job with it, and he almost hit that parlay if it hadn't been for the kicker.
Hey, that wasn't a meaningless kick, man. That was a big kick. We needed 3.
A huge kick. Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't be holding it against them because you know what will happen. All right. Yeah. Send them to me. You always do, and I'll make sure we get them out. All right, guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, Kimberly K. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. We appreciate it. The free way to help us, just hit the like button. We'll see you on the next one. Throw them down before we get out.